Life is messy, it doesn't make any goddamn sense. Sorry to break the news to you. Life's just random. Everything's random. My success, you here now. There's nothing we can do to control anything. But when you complete a puzzle, when you finish it, you know that you have made all the right choices. No matter how many wrong pieces you try to fit into a wrong place, but at the very end, everything makes one perfect picture.
And you cannot keep choosing comfort while expecting confidence to appear later. Your choices are training you into someone. That is the dangerous part. Because people think identity is something they find, when in reality, identity is being reinforced every single day through behavior. The foods you eat, the conversations you entertain, the standards you lower, the distractions you repeat, all of it is casting votes for the person you are becoming. And eventually, those votes become a lifestyle. This is why some people grow stronger under pressure, while others collapse under it. Different choices, different standards, different outcomes.
So the first step is to do a self-audit. Really ask yourself, where am I holding myself captive? This means being honest with yourself about where you are, what's working for you, and what isn't.
One of the biggest reasons people make destructive choices is because they never stop long enough to question what they are actually building. They move through life reacting instead of deciding. They follow pressure, trends, comfort, and temporary emotion, then wonder why they feel disconnected from their own direction years later. Ashley Stahl points toward something most people avoid confronting. Many people are not confused because life is complicated. They are confused because they have spent too much time adapting to external expectations and not enough time developing internal clarity. They chase goals they never truly chose. They build lifestyles they do not even enjoy. They pursue validation instead of alignment, and eventually, they wake up exhausted by a life that no longer feels like their own. That does not happen overnight. It happens through repeated unconscious choices. You choose distraction instead of reflection. You choose approval instead of honesty. You choose comfort instead of difficult self-awareness. And over time, those decisions disconnect you from yourself. You stop asking what actually matters to you and start asking what will make you look successful to other people. That is where people lose control of their lives. Because once your decisions are based on perception instead of purpose, your direction becomes unstable. You become easy to influence, easy to distract, and easy to manipulate by whatever is trending around you. Your standards shift constantly because they were never rooted in anything solid to begin with. Real clarity requires something most people resist: silence, responsibility, honest self-examination. You have to be willing to sit with uncomfortable truths about your habits, your environment, and the choices you keep repeating. Because until you understand what you are actually aiming at, your life will continue to move based on impulse instead of intention. And a life driven by impulse eventually becomes regret.
So when we face hard choices, we shouldn't beat our head against a wall trying to figure out which alternative is better. There is no best alternative. Instead of looking for reasons out there, we should be looking for reasons in here. Who am I to be? You might decide to be a pink sock wearing, cereal loving, country living banker. And I might decide to be a black sock wearing, urban donut loving artist. What we do in hard choices is very much up to each of us.
The choices that shape your life are rarely easy, obvious, or comfortable. If they were, everyone would make them. Ruth Chang explains something most people misunderstand about difficult decisions. Hard choices are hard because there is something meaningful at stake. They force you to confront who you are, what you value, and what kind of life you are willing to build through sacrifice. Most people avoid hard choices because hard choices demand responsibility. They demand that you stop hiding behind convenience. You cannot become disciplined while continuing to choose comfort every time pressure appears. You cannot build confidence while constantly avoiding situations that test you. And you cannot create a meaningful life while making decisions based only on what feels good in the moment. That is the reality people try to escape. Every major outcome in life is connected to a series of uncomfortable decisions that somebody else was unwilling to make. The disciplined body comes from choosing structure over impulse. The strong mind comes from choosing truth over denial. The respected life comes from choosing responsibility over excuses. And those choices are rarely pleasant in the beginning. This is why most people stay average. Not because they are incapable, but because they consistently choose short-term relief over long-term development. They choose distraction instead of focus. They choose entertainment instead of preparation. They choose temporary comfort instead of permanent growth. And over time, those repeated decisions quietly shape a future they later complain about. But life does not respond to complaints. It responds to choices. That is why your future is being built right now, even in moments that feel insignificant. Every decision either strengthens your standards or weakens them. Every action either moves you closer to control or deeper into dependency. And eventually, the results become impossible to hide. Because hard choices do not destroy people. Weak decisions repeated daily do. At some point, the excuses stop sounding convincing, even to you. You begin to realize that your life is not being shaped by luck, timing, or motivation nearly as much as it is being shaped by the decisions you repeatedly make when nobody is forcing you to choose correctly. Because every day, whether you acknowledge it or not, you are casting votes for the person you are becoming. And eventually, those votes become your reality. Most people destroy their future slowly, not through one catastrophic mistake, but through small decisions repeated without discipline. They choose distraction when focus is required. They choose comfort when growth demands pressure. They choose avoidance when responsibility is calling them directly in the face. And after years of repeating those patterns, they look at their lives and wonder how they ended up feeling stuck, weak, or unfulfilled. But the answer was always in the choices. This is why accountability matters so much. Because once you accept that your decisions are shaping your identity, your standards can no longer stay casual. You stop treating discipline like a temporary mood and start treating it like a requirement. You stop acting based on emotion and start acting based on what your future actually needs from you. That shift changes everything. Because life does not suddenly improve when you feel ready. It improves when your choices become aligned with the person you claim you want to become. And if your daily actions continue to contradict your goals, then your goals are meaningless. That is the uncomfortable truth. Your future is not waiting for you somewhere ahead. It is being constructed right now through repeated behavior. And if your choices stay weak, your life will eventually reflect it with brutal honesty.